Welcome everybody to another episode of our comprehensive training series called SEP Knowledge Booster. For this video, I have the pleasure to hand over to you today's presenter Klaus, who will talk about the next hot topic with the SEP Sesam backup software. 3, 2, 1, launch!
Yes, hello everybody to this next session of our training series, and I'm happy that I can talk about a really cool topic today of our backup software SEP Sesam, which is the HPE StoreOnce deduplication appliance backup via the Catalyst API. So the basis for this functionality is the strong partnership with HPE. And why do we have this kind of partnership? First of all, we both have the same focus topic for the SAP environments and strong partnerships with SAP. Second is that because of our really large support matrix, we are definitely one of the best replacements for data protector environments. And third, we are a German backup software vendor, which helps in terms of all kind of regulations for GDPR and other compliance regulations. So we also support the HPE portfolio with our Catalyst interface, which helps to improve HPE's hardware business together with us as a backup software. Now, what is an HPE StoreOnce? It's kind of a backup storage, data protection, deduplication appliance, and it's available as hardware as well as a virtual machine. And this VSA can be deployed on VMware or Microsoft Hypervisor. HPE is using its own patented deduplication technology. As you might know, our backup software also have our own integrated software deduplication algorithm, and the HPE deduplication technology is a very good alternative to our integrated software deduplication. It's possible to attach the appliance via LAN or low bandwidth WAN, and also fiber channel is possible. And all these kind of functionalities we have with these StoreOnce will be talked about during the next slides in more detail. Now, how does it work, the Catalyst backup and the Catalyst copy, which is the replication of backup data? First of all, you can attach a StoreOnce appliance to an SEP backup server via the as a VTL or NAS device via the fiber channel, iSCSI or CIFS and NFS interfaces. And this is possible with almost every deduplication appliance available on the market. And as a VTL, it's represented and treated by the SEP backup server like a real physical library. And it is possible that the StoreOnce is doing a replication in deduplicated form via the respective network interfaces to a second StoreOnce appliance. However, in this case, the replication is triggered and executed by the StoreOnce itself, so the backup server does not have any knowledge of this replication task, and therefore we cannot do a restore from the second StoreOnce because we do not have any knowledge about it. But if you are using the Catalyst interface, then the backup server itself triggers the API and writes the backup data via the Catalyst interface to the StoreOnce, and the backup server also triggers the replication to a second StoreOnce via the Catalyst copy, and then we have the knowledge that there is a replicated backup copy and we can use it for restore purposes. Now, what are the features we provide with the Catalyst API in our backup software? First of all, important is the central control of all your data and all the copies from the backup application from our GUI, and I will show it in the live demonstration later on. We can use the low bandwidth and bandwidth optimized options which are provided by the Catalyst API. And in this picture, you can see that we support different combinations that you can write to the StoreOnce, and we can let the StoreOnce appliance do the deduplication work. We can use the backup server or our media server, which is called a remote device server, and we can do the deduplication work on the backup server and then transport the deduplicated data to the StoreOnce, which helps in terms of the amount of data you have to transport to the StoreOnce. Or we can also let the client, the backup client, which might be a database server, do the deduplication work and transport the data direct to the StoreOnce appliance in deduplicated format. You can set up a mesh of several StoreOnce appliances. That's possible. We can talk about Cloud Bank storage in the next slide. And we also have the HPE certification. We also will talk about this in a second. Then there are some deduplication optimizations possible. First of all, the Catalyst interface has the huge benefit that it's a proprietary interface, and this helps in terms of virus protection. If the StoreOnce system would be connected as a NAS device, then it would be open to almost everybody to write to it. And with a proprietary interface, it's definitely more secure regarding ransomware and other virus dangers. The StoreOnce also provides additional functionalities like defining quotas or setting encryption for the data, and these are all supported with our backup software. You can use them and configure these functionalities via the StoreOnce console. And then we have implemented all these functionalities which are based on mounting backups. This helps for virtual machines. If you have backups of virtual machines or the Exchange database on the StoreOnce, you can mount the backups and then do an effective single file restore or an instant recovery to start the virtual machine directly from the StoreOnce backup target. That's possible with our backup software. I will show this in the live demonstration. Now, what is Cloud Bank storage all about? And this is the functionality to do a copy of your StoreOnce appliance, no matter if it's a virtual appliance or a physical appliance, to replicate the data to public cloud or other cloud interfaces. And it's an automated StoreOnce replication. It's also triggered from the backup software. And there are several cloud targets possible with Cloud Bank storage functionality. It's easy to configure this in our graphical user interface. I will come to it in a second in our live demonstration. You can directly restore from the cloud via the backup software, via the GUI, and you can restore not to your primary StoreOnce, you can restore to another StoreOnce appliance, which might be in a second location. And it's possible to have different retention times for your copies of the data, so that the data on the StoreOnce appliance will be removed because the retention times have been expired, and the copies will still be kept for a longer period of time. This is an extract of the HPE certification matrix with a page which is taking care of SEP sesam. You can see all the entries for the different operating systems and the different Catalyst functionalities, including single file restore and instant recovery. And all the entries concerning or regarding Catalyst copy and Cloud Bank storage are currently at work, and this will come soon, and the HPE certification matrix will be updated soon. Now, this is a customer reference story of a very satisfied customer using SAP Sesam, not only for their complete heterogeneous environment consisting of VMware, Microsoft applications, IBM Domino for mailing system. They are doing the backup to the StoreOnce via the Catalyst API with our backup software. And the partner for this case is the German Telekom, who is implementing the complete stuff. Now it's time to start with our live demonstration. I have prepared already some windows for you, and first of all we would like to start with our browser window, and this will show you a console of a StoreOnce. We have a VSA in our demo lab, and here you can see the configured Catalyst stores, and you might be familiar with this console, with this GUI of version 4 of StoreOnce, which is the latest version. And if we look at the Catalyst stores, you can see that there are several stores configured, and here we have one which we will use in our demo in our GUI, which is the KRI cat store, and you can see that there are 124 items stored in this Catalyst data store, the size on disk, the user data, and because of these two figures we get the dedup ratio of about 11:1, more or less. So how does it work in our graphical user interface with SEP? So let's switch to our GUI, and this is our GUI. It looks clean and everything in order, and on the left side you have the main selection. This is the most important topic selection menu because it contains all the powerful functionality of our graphical user interface. And the top menu item are the components of the complete backup infrastructure, and here we have the data stores, which are the disk storage which we will use for our backups. And here you can see that there are several data stores configured, and some of them are of type HPE StoreOnce, and this one is the one I've shown you in the console already, KRI cat store, which we will use in our demonstration. And now I look at the properties, how is it configured, and you can see it's configured as a type HPE StoreOnce. We have two drives over here, a read drive and a read-write drive, so that we can read and write at the same time. Then we have the credentials over here. The credential set has to be the same name as we have in configured in the StoreOnce console. It has to be identical, and also the identifier and the password is configured in the console, and you have to take over these values in this sheet. Here we have the save sets, and we look back a little bit in time. Then you can see what is backed up on these data store on the StoreOnce. We have the media, we have the actions, and we have the Catalyst StoreOnce data, which we retrieve from the StoreOnce via the Catalyst interface. You can see the object, the elements, number, the quantity, and the data, and the dedup ratio, and these are all the familiar figures from the console already. So now let's do some example backups, and for this we go to the tasks section and the task by clients, and in this sheet we have all the computers we would like to back up, all the database servers, the backup clients in fact, and they are structured in kind of a tree structure which you can configure completely on your own. And for some demo backups we search for sesam, and then we will find the backup server itself, and we could do some backups. A little test backup is configured over here, this task, and we can do an immediate start of this one, and let's choose a media pool for the KRI cat store. This media pool will put the backup data on the store once via the Catalyst interface. Now let's do some start of this backup task. This one will be pretty short because it's pretty small, and this one will be a little bit bigger and take some more time. The sesam backup, which is the own backup of the backup server itself for disaster recovery of the backup server. Let's do an immediate start of this one as well. And where's the window? Here's the window. Okay, so let's do an incremental backup so that it will not take too long. Let's put it on the KRI cat store, and here with this option you can decide if the deduplication will take place on the on the application side or on the StoreOnce side, and we will use the application side deduplication, the HPE StoreOnce bandwidth optimized data transfer. Now let's start this one as well. Yes. So now let's go to the backup view so that we can see the active backups running currently. Yes, you can see here the test backup. It's from today. It's from now, and well, you can see the time over here and the time over here. So this one was pretty fast. It's already successful, and the sesam backup is currently running because it's a little bit bigger, even if it's an incremental backup, because it contains all the metadata and the database and so on of the backup server. So I have shown you this data store, and if you look at the properties once again and safe sets, if you go back in time, then you can see that there are some KVM backups over here. And let's do a restore of these KVM backups we have here on our StoreOnce. So let's go on task by clients and now search for our KVM environment. And here you can see this is the KVM host we have specified in our lab. And we also have some tasks. So let's take this task for example, and now let's use our web UI, which is pretty comfortable for doing a KVM restore. And this is the icon to start our web UI. And let's do the basic settings. We'll show the advanced settings later. And now let's configure a KVM restore from here. Now click on next. Now we have to select the virtual machine we would like to restore, which is this one, the KRI VM. And now let's restore from this latest safe set. Here you can see that this backup consists of two safe sets. In fact, the metadata of the VM, and this is the virtual disk, because it's, you see, it's bigger, the virtual disk which contains the data of the VM. Now click on next. You see where to restore to. If we would have another KVM environment somewhere, we could restore to the separate KVM environment. And now we have to specify a not existing virtual machine under which name we would like to restore to. Let's name it KRI2 and then click on next. Here are some options. If we would like to start the virtual machine after restore, this is the only option visible over here currently. But if you select the advanced mode, then you have all the quirky options which are available for doing a restore, recovery, and here the restore options, the log level, for instance, which are kind of expert options. Here we have the options to see the preferred media pool, and this is the media pool. So just to make sure that we do a restore from our StoreOnce system. So click on next. Here you have the overview of the options I have selected, and now let's start the restore. And you will see that it creates a restore process, and this is the PID of this restore process. So now let's go back to our GUI. For instance, let's click on the restore view, and here you can see the active restores. It consists of two sets because it's for the VM metadata and the VM virtual disk data. And now let's also see this one in our dashboard. If we click in the web UI, we open the dashboard, and under monitoring you can also see the restores, that there are active restores of the KVM restore which is active. You see the icon over here. So that's the same view from the GUI as well as from the web UI, from the dashboard over here. So now the next topic would be doing some catalyst copy replication functionality. And this is pretty easy to configure in our graphical user interface. Let's go back to the data stores. And here we have a second data store configured on the StoreOnce. Let's have a look at the console. And let's go back one step. Here you have the KRI store 1. And you can see only 6 items are stored in this small Catalyst data store over here. But we can use it for the replication, and this can be done pretty easy. Go to the task, the replication tasks, and here we already have a Catalyst copy task. And if we just double click on it, you can see it's doing a replication from the KRI cat store to the KRI store 1. That's the replication we will do. And yeah, we can start this one, immediate start the replication. Okay, and now let's go to the replications, have a look at the replication overview, and you can see that this Catalyst copy is currently in queue, will be processed, and you can see that I have started currently. And we will have a look at the data store later on. In the meantime, I will show you how this would work if you do a cloud bank, if you use a cloud bank storage replication. And this is also pretty easy, because you know that you can see already the KRI store 1 already has 12 items now, so the replication is in progress. And if we go back, you know that over here you can configure cloud bank stores on the StoreOnce, which will have the functionality to replicate data from these StoreOnce VSA to the public cloud somewhere, which is specified over here, because you have to specify a bucket somehow. And well, then you can do if you create a new data store within our SEP GUI, new data store, then you have the option over here if it's a normal HPE StoreOnce data store, or if it's a cloud bank store for the public cloud. That's over here, the selection options. And if this would be a cloud bank data store, then you could easily create a new replication task and say, okay, we have the KRI cat store, and then we would use the cloud bank storage data store if we would have configured one in our system. So that's how easy it is to configure cloud bank storage in our graphical user interface. As a really cool option, I would like to show you that we can do a single file restore and mount the backups from the StoreOnce, and we can do this, and let's choose here this backup task, and let's choose our restore wizard now as another option for doing restores. And now we select this backup of this KVM virtual machine, and here we can click on mount virtual disk. And if you do this, then it will create the mount process and mount the virtual disks stored on the StoreOnce. And here in the trace log you can see the details, and this is the overview of the trace log. Now click on OK, and now you have the possibility to drill down in this virtual machine and do some restore of whatever you would like to restore this file. Maybe click on next, and now you have the options on which node you would like to restore the file, and the restore is from the KRI cat store because it's stored on the KRI cat store on the StoreOnce. Now that's the possibility of doing a single file restore. Now it's unmounted, everything, click on OK, and everything's fine. Now let's go on the backup view, and you can see that also the sesam backup is now successful. It has taken some time. Here you can see the source side deduplication is switched on because we have used the HPE bandwidth optimized option doing the deduplication on the application side. That's the overall duration, 45 seconds, and that's the backup media pool over here, KRI cat store. So you can see that both backups have run successfully now. If you click on the replication over here, this is also successful. The replication is finished now. And now, last but not least, let's have a look at the web UI. Now the restore also has completed successfully, the restore from the StoreOnce. So I think it has shown everything successful, and you have seen how easy it is to really configure Catalyst copy, Cloud Bank storage, replication, and I hope you have enjoyed this live demonstration. Now let's move on with our expert section. Did you know that a StoreOnce appliance, a virtual appliance, a VSA, is also available for deployment in Microsoft Azure, predefined in the Azure Management Console, so that you can use it if you do not have your own appliance. If you would like to use it in the public cloud, that's possible with Azure. So overall, we can definitely say that SEP is the best solution for all customers running HPE StoreOnce as a backup target. So now, Katrin, are you ready to take over?
Yes, of course. Hey, are you impressed of what you have heard until now? Then you might be interested in gaining more information about this powerful backup software. After our SEP specialist has talked a lot about a specific backup topic, during the next roundabout 4 minutes, I would like to give you a short overview of the general capabilities of SEP Sesam. I'm sure you will be impressed of what is really possible with this product. This is essentially based on 6 strategic columns. The first and most important topic is our huge support matrix. There is an agent available for almost every operating system, database, or application you can imagine. Market leaders as well as niche products, for example for mailing, Exchange or Copano. Even a lot of older versions are supported, because all old SEP clients are still compatible and usable with the latest SEP backup server, for example NetWare, or outdated Windows versions. The second strategic focus is our strong partnership with SAP. While being 2 German companies, we work together from SMB to enterprise, from Business One to S/4HANA. SAP has the most complete set of certified agents for the SAP portfolio, including NetWeaver running on Oracle or MaxDB, Linux or Windows, HANA or ASE, known as Sybase. Moreover, SAP not only supports simple HANA backup via the backend interface, but also functionalities like multi-tenancy, housekeeping, scale up, scale out, HANA Studio integration, disaster recovery, and efficient performance by parallel HANA backend channels for backup and recovery. Third, we focus on our partnership with HPE. Besides the perfect fit with our SAP partnership, this means that we step by step integrate deeper into the HPE portfolio. We just released our HPE certified Catalyst integration, including Catalyst Copy and Cloud Bank Storage. More to come soon. As a fourth element, we are proud of our multi-hypervisor support. By supporting more than 8 hypervisors, we are a perfect fit into every virtual environment beyond VMware and Hyper-V, or in every multi-hypervisor infrastructure. Based on our Unix and Linux history, we have a strong focus on open source. This becomes apparent from our partnerships with Red Hat and SUSE, but also from the support metrics, where you can find agents for open source products like KVM, MariaDB, or Postgres. Last but not least, we see the market going cloud. With our Cloud Application Protection Service products, we help you to back up your Office 365, G Suite, Salesforce, or Microsoft Dynamics environment. With Office 365, we back up the full set of features like Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, public folders, and Teams. With SEP Sesam, it is possible to run completely in AWS, replicate to a public cloud via S3, or simply use Catalyst Cloud Bank Storage and let HPE StoreOnce do the replication work. All these topics are covered in separate videos. Therefore, we can proudly state that SEP Sesam is the most powerful backup software. Well, if you are now interested in knowing more about SEP, you can find detailed information about market, sales, product and company on our webpage. Profound technical information can be found in our large wiki online documentation. If there are any questions left, please do not hesitate to contact us via email to sales@sepsoftware.com. So, I'm pretty sure that I'll see you next time when you're back on Tube to boost your SEP knowledge again.